There's always a book on guys. And there's been a lot of chirping from the Pirates bench, and Jordan Baker has thrown out somebody. It's been going on for a couple innings. Hey, welcome to the big league, Shelty.
And he may have threw somebody out from the stands. I think one of the players was in the stands, if I'm not mistaken, because I saw somebody get up out of the seats.
Yeah, somebody took off. Kind of looked like Holland, but I'm not sure.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. And
took one on the elbow, had the elbow guard on there, looked like. They're going to say it hit the bat. Mark Ripperger behind the plate. This is subject to review.
Is he saying it hit the bat, or that Kevin made no effort to get out of the way?
Maybe there's that.
Yeah. It did look like he kept the elbow out there a little bit.
Now this is a. We'll see if Torrey wants to fire up what appears to be a team that's sleepwalking somewhat. Oh, maybe that he stuck the elbow out. And Torrey has given it to Mark Ripperger. We hope he can't pick up all of this, but he is letting him have it.
Well, Ripperger's got Torrey in his book once already. One ejection already, I should say. Now make it two.
And Torrey Lovello has been ejected from the ball game. Kevin Cron's at bat will continue.
Have each hit their first home runs of the season. And at the knees for strike three called, much to the dismay of Rowdy Tellez. Looked like a good pitch.
He might have thrown Tellez out of the game. Way Rowdy reacted as he was headed back to dugout. He turned around, had some more words for the home plate umpire, but he may have thrown him out of the game.
Remember, that's Stu Sherwater behind the plate.
They've seen him a lot. Yeah. He was at summer camp.
Yeah, the Regina native. He came into Toronto and called a bunch of the intra-squad games, 4 or 5 games in Toronto, and then he was part of the crew in the series down in Tampa Bay as well. Everybody was very friendly in Toronto, but now that the games count for real, tempers are a little bit short.
Yeah, he's not done talking to the Blue Jays dugout.
I don't think he's talking to Charlie. Maybe Guillermo got kicked out of the game. John Schneider's not sure who he's talking to. Joe West is coming over.
Joe West has come over from first base, and I don't know what the issue is, but I believe Rowdy Tellez has been thrown out of the game. Maybe somebody else. Guillermo Martinez, the hitting coach, is down in that well next to Dave Hudgens.
We think 2 people got thrown out, but everybody's trying to figure out exactly who it is. Guessing Rowdy was one of them.
Yeah, Rowdy had the reaction after he was headed back to the dugout as if the home plate umpire threw him out.
Now remember, everybody, this is just a 7-inning game, so this is the Yankees' last licks. Here's Mike Ford of the inning. There's a strike.
Yankees putting together some hits and runs is have him take a pitch and make him throw 2 strikes or try to get that tying run up there.
Ooh, that was ball 4, and Ford tried to check his swing, and Hernandez said strike 2. His umpire, Adam Beck, he called it himself. 3-2. That one's driven deep to right field, and it's a foul ball. Strike 3, rang him up. Ford thought it was ball 4, 2 away. Yankees down to their final out. You could tell that Ford not happy with Angel Hernandez, and in an empty ballpark, Hernandez could hear how unhappy he was.
Well, here's a guy that's been all over the place in the strike zone, and then to get a pitch in off the inside corner, very frustrating to a hitter.
Similar pitches that he called balls all day long. That's why Jay Happ had 6 walks.
I think Phil Nevin got thrown out by Angel Hernandez, and here comes Aaron Boone. So Nevin was obviously riding him from the dugout.
Yeah, I talked earlier, though, about Angel Hernandez. Not a guy that you want to get jawing with, because this is what happens. All of a sudden, he's the center of attention. He's going to throw some guys out.
Well, Girardi is going to go to his closer, Hector Neris. Yankees down by 4.
I think so. Manny was barking at that last call. It was a breaking ball down. It looked like it was a ball. Manny was barking. Jace started barking from the dugout. He came out, and I think he did give him the heave-ho. And we know, you can't argue balls and strikes. I kind of like it, though. Jace Tingler, he knows the consequences, but, he's sticking up for his player, going out there and speaking his piece as we take a look at the pitch. Below the zone, ball. Manny starts barking at him, and he runs him. Jace Tingler out of the game.
And Winker was there's a good one, bottom of the zone. Wow, Jesse Winker, easy.
He never said anything like that.
Tonight. Struck him out looking. Oh, you didn't like that earlier one? I called a strike. How do you like me now? 8 Ks for Carlos Carrasco. And Winker has been ejected.
2-2. Oh, boy. Oh, man. I don't know if the home plate umpire, Niels, thought that he went around on the swing, because if that was a called third strike, that is not a good call.
I think he just may have ejected Jesse Winker.
Well, I don't blame Winker for getting run on this. 2 of the strikes in that at bat.
The 6, take another look at the strike 3 called pitch to Jesse Winker. It was right at the knees. Might have looked a little low, but again, he was barking early in the at-bat.
Well, watch the guy in the on-deck circle. Did you see that? They took off. He thought it was low, and he was complaining about the one prior to that.
Like it.
Oh, there's a what do you call it? Cross up.
It's another cross up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was right down the middle. Even if it's a cross up, who cares? Stallings is thinking he's getting a breaking ball, and instead it gets a fastball in the chest protector.
Heck, just threw him out. He said, knock it off. And Ramon De Jesus just threw out Shelton. De Jesus letting him vent now. Oh, now he's not. As the crew chief Bill Welke came in.
I mean, there's no doubt this is a strike. It was almost right down the middle.
It was.
But it's a, it's a cross-up. But what difference does that make? Where's the pitch? I mean, he couldn't have ran it in there and placed it in the middle of the plate any more than that.
Yeah.
He really didn't give Shelty much room there, I didn't think. Usually when you miss a fastball right down the middle, mid-thigh, middle of the plate, you'll let the manager holler a little bit about that one.
Check swing. And he went around. Wow. Edwin Moscoso rings him up. Second time that Castro's been rung up on a check swing, right?
Yeah.
And Seattle didn't look like he went around.
See if he went here, because he was not real happy about that one. He's kind of shocked.
To tell there.
See if this angle. Yep.
I'd ring him. Sorry.
Yeah.
Joe Madden, a little discussion here. It's a check swing, so I'm not sure.
I'm not sure you can.
Unless someone said something and Moscoso ran somebody.
I would think it had to be the case. Unless it was Castro.
Yeah, he might have tossed Castro. Because I can't imagine Joe's out there arguing the check swing. First of all, you can't really argue.
No, you can't do that.
It's a judgment call.
They've been going up and in on the Yankee right-handers there. They're not letting them dive over the plate.
You can start hearing some chirping from the Yankee bench.
Chop to Kittredge. And he retires the Yankees in order 1-2-3. Well, while we were away, we kind of knew this was going to happen. About 3 Yankees got flipped. And Aaron Boone finally had enough, and he had his say with the umpires. And he really had a say. And you feel for him because he's trying to be socially distant and he's trying to keep the mask up over his nose. And as he's arguing with Carapazza, it keeps dropping down, and then he's really saying, listen, you can't let them continue to do that. Finally gets thrown out. Certainly had his say, got his money's worth, but that's exactly why he was arguing, David.
Smith coming off an outing where he went 3 1/3 innings on Wednesday against the Texas Rangers as the Astros dug out, getting on Nick Marley, and somebody's been tossed. Wow. Nick Marley has tossed somebody from the Astros dugout.
It's a little aggressive.
It's been a tough stretch here with a 4-game losing streak, and Dusty Baker may have just been ejected from his first game as an Astro manager.
Yeah, it looked like the pitch caught the bottom of the zone, but watch the way that Austin Allen, the catcher, catches it, and I think that's what set Dusty off. Well, I believe it's the way the catcher caught the ball that set Dusty off.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tucker not happy. His manager's been ejected. He'll take the slow stroll up the ramp and up to the clubhouse. So Espada will assume the managerial duties.
Opening night when the Angels were in town, the way he looked.
Oh, goodness. Laureano gets hit again. That's the second time. Now he's pointing at Castellanos. It looked like a breaking ball.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of standing around.
And you can see Laureano just kind of talking about, you know, it looks like I can feel him releasing the ball in a fashion. And now we've
look out, folks. This is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. Laureano sprinted toward the dugout, and this is not good, folks. This is exactly what Major League Baseball said you absolutely cannot do. Ramon Laureano didn't like what he was hearing from the dugout, and he started sprinting right at the dugout.
And that's the problem. No fans in the stands. You hear everything. You hear everything. But you're right.
This is going to cost some players some games, and that's why it's a big mistake.
You're right.
And it was a curveball.
Yeah, he just got under it. I think these 28-man rosters and coaching staff, there's a whole bunch of people out there. Laureano going back to the dugout.
Well, the umpires are going to have to sift through this a little bit.
When I'm down here, obviously right here field level, and I can hear Big Teddy Barrett telling people, just get back to the dugout. They'll find you, and they'll find you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, they're going to find him. It's going to be more than that. He's maybe without a player for a while. So the umpire's still chatting. Nobody's in a great mood right now. Laureano now is back in the dugout.
Well, this is what happens when you have two teams like this. The emotions from everything that's going on, I think, in the game around the sport. A lot of noise. Thinking about last year, some of the transgressions. This isn't about just one pitch. This isn't about Laureano getting dosed twice. While that factors into it, we all know the emotion that is boiling.
Not going to be going on contact here.
I think he went. He did. Call made by Tim Timmons. That's the first out. And strikeout number 7. And, did he get thrown out of the game?
I think he did.
So Willie slammed his bat into the dirt, and Tim Timmons just threw him out of the game. And that's going to be it for Carrasco, it appears.
Rossi trying to make the case. Hey, Mike, he's frustrated. Let him express his frustration.
David,
is this Rossi's first career
on-field argument?
On-field dispute. Yeah, it looked like a swing. I'm sure Wilson said ask for help, and that may have led to his frustration.
So it was the argument and then the slam.
Wow.
Oh,
there's nothing up. There's nothing down.
Yan Gomes hasn't thrown the ball back yet.
Well, ejection taking place.
Davey's been ejected at Citi Field before, and who are they ejecting? The skipper? And Steven Strasburg got thrown out? Oh, I love it. They kicked the fan out of the game. The World Series MVP. I love it.
And I suppose for some, we've got some conversation going on between the plate umpire James Hoy and the Marlins dugout. He may have thrown Don Mattingly out of the game.
Yeah, he just threw somebody out. I think it was Donnie.
And now Donnie's going to come get his money's worth. He is not a happy camper.
This is 3 series worth of frustration with this crew boiling over.
Yes. And I think this has to do with balls and strikes and other things.
And remember, you had to play with Flowers right at home plate. That was Hoy's call initially.
Yep. So timeout here while Donnie, mask on. Plate umpire has a mask on as well. Donnie gets his say with James Hoy. And James Hoy trying to get the last word in. That brought Donnie back for more. And so Donnie is really hot. And he's making his points with James Hoy, the plate umpire, and now the crew chief, Mark Carlson, has come in. And Donnie continues to make whatever points he wants to make with this umpiring crew.
The 2-2. Yanked down the right field line. That's going to find a corner. Cabrera will dig for third. It bounces around. Santiago's going to wave him home. Candelario wants 3. Cabrera scores. Candelario's got an RBI triple, and the Tigers have taken the lead.
Got stuck under it. I don't know that Miggy, they want him at second base. He's down in the corner underneath the padding. No, it doesn't matter. You got to play that.
The same thing happened to Detroit in the Chicago series with Kristen Stewart in left field.
That's playable.
Agreed.
That rule, that is not a proper call. Gardy's going to get thrown out if they don't reverse it.
Well, now he's out. He just got tossed.
That'd make me mad too. I'm mad. I'm an analyst.
3-1.
Oh, that was the dugout that got that call. Brandon Hyde and whoever's talking in the Orioles dugout about the 2-0 changeup that was a strike, got the 3-1 curveball called a strike.
Oh, he's going to punch out Soto on a fastball off the plate. Here's Chance Sisco. He just fouled one off. Scherzer trying to bring the curveball around through the back door. Now we're going to have more going on here.
Yeah, I think Kevin Long got thrown out there. Probably looked at the strike 3 to Juan Soto, and I think he said that was 2 balls inside and you called it strike 3. Yeah, someone's gone. I think it was Kevin Long. You know what generally happens in these cases, Carb? I don't know a lot about Will Little's strike zone, but those guys do. And when you start seeing misses, and you've seen them before with a certain guy.
Do we have another pitcher from the stands thrown out in the same week?
Is he going sacrificial lamb here?
And it was Strasburg the day before his start. And Anibal is scheduled to start tomorrow in Atlanta.
You get a lot of weight. You get away with a lot of things wearing a mask, can't you? That wasn't me. It was him.
Well, between innings, Matt Shoemaker's frustration boiled over, and he was tossed from the game by Vic Carapazza, evidently for saying something from the dugout. And then after that, and we'll show you this momentarily, charged out of the dugout onto the field and had to be restrained. Charlie Montoyo and a few other players were out there.
Yeah, and he was very upset by the call he didn't get, and then Carapazza threw him out of the game, and now Charlie Montoyo is trying to hold him back. Pete Walker's there as well, and his teammates come out. As we mentioned, Matt Shoemaker is a guy that pretty much keeps in control of his emotions, and now Stu Shearwater comes over to talk to Charlie Montoyo. And Shearwater's been around the Blue Jays a lot going back to summer camp. But Matt Shoemaker made a pitch he thought was strike 3 to Yoshi Tsutsugo, and then he gives up a 3-run home run, and his emotions boiled over. He got ejected from the dugout, and then once he realized he was ejected, he came storming out to voice his thoughts. And Charlie Montoyo, he comes out and talks to Carapazza, and then he gets thrown out of the game.
At the knee, strike 1. And now a ball. Slashed foul, 1-2. 2-2. 3-2. Called third strike. Gonzalez thought it was high, and he's got to be careful. The Twins don't have, and he's been tossed. Well, now the Twins are in a real jam here. He thought it was ball 4, but he's been ejected now. And Gonzalez, who was at first base, might force the Twins to use Garver as their first baseman.
Well, remember we started this show with Wes Johnson talking about that high breaking ball. That ball is high, but that's what has been getting called.
Now Ildemaro Vargas in his first plate appearance as a Twin.
Here it comes. Oh, strike 3 called. Santana down looking, 2 away.
Well, Danny's probably going to get tossed, and he does. He wasn't happy with his last at-bat when he struck out looking and had some words to say to Alfonso Marquez, and now Chris Woodward's going to have to go out and talk to Marquez. I don't know, this one's pretty close.
That was close. Danny, it's not the first confrontation Danny's had tonight.
It's interesting because where PitchCast had it, but then also where we see Hedges catch it. So it looks like a ball maybe where he catches it, but because you have a sidearm lefty coming from that angle, and it's about where the ball crosses the plate. That's borderline.
Danny ejected. Bases still loaded. Opportunity still exists here.
Kicks and deals 2-1, and Muncy looks at strike 2.
Last at bat, Max struck out on a splitter down there, slightly below the strike zone.
Dave Roberts and Mark Ripperger. Dave Roberts has been thrown out of the game. First time this season, Roberts has been ejected. Going to get his money's worth before heading back into the clubhouse.
Swings and misses. He's muttering to himself, and he just got thrown out. And now he throws his bat away, and he's getting into the grill of Mark Ripperger.
Well, all he did was he didn't make a comment. He just blurted out a word. And the guys are real sensitive. And I think back to what I heard a manager say a number of years ago. We never questioned his eyesight, but we found out he has 20/20 hearing.
So Muncy's been thrown out. Roberts has been thrown out. The Dodgers, with the heavily packed bullpen, have but 3 bench players.
Let's listen. He just got tossed. He said that's terrible, Moran says, and Trip Gibson ejects Moran. Has to be the first ejection maybe of Moran's career. And Derek Shelton will now give Gibson an earful. Boy, didn't give Moran much wiggle room, did he?
He didn't at all.
Two, did he go? Oh, close. On a check down there at first, and one of the Rays really wanted that call. Oh,
Dwayne, if he hits the ball, it goes for a double.
Yeah, the Rays are hot over that, and then we're going to have an ejection. Todd Tishner has just ejected Kevin Cash. And boy, that is a big pitch.
It's the end of the inning.
Yep.
And he went. It was clear as day. Everybody saw it except for the two, making the final decision. And here it is again. Breaking ball down. A great pitch, executed well. Strike 3.
So he's going slider. That one he did not go either. See, no, he didn't. Joe Madden can't believe it. Let's see this time again. Yeah, he went. Lance Barrett is just ejected. Either Joe Madden or somebody else from the dugout. Joe's coming out. Usually when an umpire says no more, the next peep, whoever it is gone. More? You know more? He's just, yeah. I think because you mentioned the way he says, no, he didn't go twice now. And they both and the whole bench went, he went.
Third and Walker in the fourth. Is it Marte in the fifth? That's a home run in a silo. Will it drop in? Nope, Topping is there. And Calhoun back at the bag at first, out number 2. Now it kicks away from Murphy. Cole going to go to second. Now they got him hung up. Walters was backing up to play and did a tremendous job, and they dropped the ball. McMahon couldn't handle it. They had Cole Calhoun dead to rights. He stuck his head in front of him.
Very quick real-time analysis. The rule is there, 601A. Intentionally interferes with the thrown ball is the part of the rule that matters. If he intentionally stuck his head into the ball, he's out. If it wasn't intentional, then he's safe. Rob Drake clearly thought it was intentional.
Is really...
And Torrey is livid because I think Rob Drake's saying no, he stuck his arm in front of the ball. No, it hit his head.
Torrey's been ejected. Rob Drake has ejected Torrey Lavello on a bizarre play. Walters, look at the job Walters does backing up the play. Calhoun sees that. Now they got him dead to rights. The throw to McMahon hits him right in the helmet.
I don't see anything illegal about that. He just turned his head.
He didn't.
It didn't look to me like he tried to stick his head in front of the ball. It just hit him in the head.
Well, Torrey's night is over here. He's had it with Rob Drake. Now he's going to go after Bill Miller, the crew chief. Another look. Well, I mean, he's trying to get himself in a rundown.
Right.
But the ball was thrown right at his helmet.
That's the kind of player Cole Calhoun is.
Well, he's a heady player. That's the end of the 5th inning. It's still 3-2 Colorado. Wow.
Another payoff. Walked him. Oh, call strike 3. Are you kidding me? 1 down.
Somebody got tossed. Joe got thrown out.
I mean, the entire game, it's been a bad strike zone on both sides. Alfonso Marquez is the crew chief who came in from second base. Joe's been ejected. Second time on this road trip.
Location of that pitch. Ohtani knows the strike zone pretty well as a pitcher and a hitter, and he knows that's not in the strike zone.
In between innings, some jawing going on with Votto and Shane Leibensparger, the home plate umpire. David Bell out there as well. Crew chief Tim Timmons trying to stay in between, and Votto has been thrown out of the game. And now David Bell sticking up for his player, getting his money's worth. They let him go for a while, and he has been tossed as well. So frustration boiling over for this Reds team, which not much has gone right tonight or of late. Certainly a tough night for Votto, and we don't have to tell you how tough of a 2020 it's been for David Bell, and he is getting his money's worth. Here's Votto coming out. He ran to his position initially, and then words were exchanged. And again, we're working off of monitors from far away, so we're trying to give you the best sequence we can of what happened. In the end, Votto has been tossed out of the game. Kyle Farmer is your new first baseman. David Bell has been ejected from this game.
No, it's just the cough button.
Okay.
That is hit sharply, but just foul. And handled things very well. Versatility, right?
Yeah.
Moose playing first. 3-2 pitch. And oh my, he did not get the top of the zone. Moustakas reaching on a walk, and that'll frustrate you, and it'll frustrate him too.
Second baseman, number 3, Freddie Elvis.
Half expected the hook to jump out of the dugout, go talk to Freddie right here. Never mind, there he is.
Here he comes. And Craig Counsell been barking. And Craig's night is going to be over, but he's going to get in a parting shot. Yeah, that's a frustrated manager right now. That pitch is going to get a called strike more often than not. And he is letting John Bacon know about it.
I mean, there's been some close calls all night. In the first game with Braun, it's probably where it started. You think it's a rule they have to take the mask off first?
As long as the other mask is still on, right?
Yeah. Of course.
It's one of the things, and maybe you hear that with 40,000 people here, but then again, maybe you don't with no crowd. I mean, we have the crowd noise, but it's still different.
You could hear it. I thought he was talking to me.
Yeah.
I was like, that's why I got up.
you took off the headsets.
Yeah.
Said, no, Tim, you're good. Stay
I'm
here.
like, typical. I'm out.
3 home runs and a double. A double coming in his first at bat here in game 2. What happened there?
Fastball right over the head of Anthony, and
Cubs are barking.
Anthony's barking.
Yeah.
Dugout's barking.
All the umpires gathering there.
Well, Anthony gets pitched inside a lot, and he doesn't complain about it. He gets hit a lot, but this one's right over his melon. At 96, Antone immediately looking at his hand. So, maybe that it just slipped, but that's just going to get everybody's attention. I think Antone could have handled. He's wiping his hand. If he had kind of like looked at Anthony and said, "Man, I didn't mean it."
I think Rossi just got ejected. Nick Lynch threw somebody out of the game.
Like Rossi's trying to argue, hey, if somebody throws one over our guy's head, whether it's intentional or not, we're going to react. It's an emotional moment, so you got to. Now he's gone. Maybe somebody else had already gone. I don't know.
think so. I think Lentz had already ejected somebody. That's Rossi's first, right? As a manager?
I think so, yeah.
He's really upset.
Throw down to first. Still maintaining rookie status here in 2020 as Alzolay. And some more chirping going on.
Well, I think David Bell was chirping from the dugout because he thought that pitch was high and tight to Akiyama. And maybe it's Joey Votto doing the barking and saying it was the same pitch to Akiyama that the pitch was to Rizzo. So this is the one to Rizzo. You could see Antone immediately check his fingers. That ball slipped. The umpires huddled. Here's the pitch to Akiyama. Probably slipped. And the umpires are huddling again. And now they're telling David Bell, all right, now that's enough.
And now Anthony Rizzo having words with David Bell. Rizzo's like, all right, enough. Get back to the dugout. And now here come the benches.
Well, Bell has been ejected, and
David Bell has been
ejected, and I think Jesse Winker's been ejected.
And here come the bullpens.
Now, this has gotten out of hand for basically no reason at all.
This is not supposed to happen in 2020. Now, cooler heads need to prevail here.
This is actually a beef with the way the umpires have interpreted this rather than a beef between these two ball clubs. Unless there's something I'm completely missing about these two teams playing against each other. And
he's even saying, I understand that, let's go. And then he throws, the guy's coming out of the dugout, multiple ejections.
Well, those happened before David Bell could do anything, and that's going to be very frustrating to him because now you've lost two players in your manager.
And if they have thrown out Winker and Votto, those are big blows. It's a foul ball. It was fouled at the plate.
I think now being discussed is whether or not that ball hit Inciarte on his way out of the box. That's Joe Girardi's assertion. We'll take a look. Didn't hit him at all.
Girardi may have a point here. And the hitter will tell you his reaction.
Well, that should be a fair ball.
Fair ball.
Right? If it hits in foul territory and then moves back into fair territory, that's a fair ball.
Indeed, fair ball all the way. Absolutely.
It sounded to me like the call was that it hit Inciarte's foot.
That's right.
And thus the ruling of a foul ball. Joe Girardi's just been ejected from the game. This is not a reviewable play, by the way.